everyone. Welcome to today's classroom on KOINE Greek. This is Dr. Godson and Gospel's Classroom of Varieties. You are very welcome. If today is your first time, kindly go back, watch our previous videos, and welcome. Thank you for supporting us, for giving us your honest support. And today, can I give you the hint? Yeah, we're going to translate from English to Greek. English to Greek. So stay tuned. Please listen carefully. If you have your questions, ask us, share us, share whatsoever you have with us, and then comment, subscribe, notify us. If there's anything you want us to tell you more, let us know. We are here to let you also understand what it means to translate English to Greek language. Stay tuned as I invite our professor, Dr. Godson Ebujo. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Lanko Person, Lady IJ Ohabonwa. You are doing great in this classroom. God is using you to share this whole idea. Remember, brethren, wherever you are watching us, as I've always said, this is KOINE Greek, what we may consider the street language of the Greco-Roman world during the preparation for Christianity. And it's the language with which the Bible was written in Greek. That is why we do it, and it's primarily for ministers, seminarians, and those that are interested in the New Testament biblical exegesis and application. So if you want to preach a very sound sermon, it is imperative you understand the language of the Bible. At this juncture, just as the anchor person made us understand that we are looking at the hints on translation, and we will begin from translating English to Greek. However, in the last class on lesson number 8, I introduced us to the endings of the masculine and feminine nouns of the second declension, gave you some of the nouns with their articles to know whether they are feminine or masculine. And today, we are going to implement or use some of those nouns and verbs and the like to introduce us to translation. Translation. The student or whosoever that is listening to us in translating a sentence should first of all, one, single out the subject. Single out the subject of the sentence. Now, if you single out the subject, place it. Place it in the nominative. Place it in the nominative case. This is the first point we have to bear in mind. Placing it in the nominative case of the Greek will help us to understand or know that that is the subject of the sentence. However, where there is no noun in the nominative, it means that the subject of the sentence is located with the verb. This simply means that where there is no subject, where there is no noun in the nominative case, the subject of the sentence is attached to the verb. You will understand that as we progress. This is the hint number 1. I will give us an example of the hint number 1. The example is you have a word like this. They hear the word of God. Remember, I said that when there is no noun in the nominative that stands as a subject, the subject of the sentence is attached to the verb. They, in English, we know is a pronoun. And it is a third person personal pronoun. Here is the verb. The word is the direct object of God, is possessive. Now, this is the subject. The subject. I use X to represent it. This is the verb. I use V to represent it. This is the direct object. I use D to represent it. Then this is a possessive. Possessive, as in the genitive case. I use P to represent it. Now, all these are in English. Subject, verb, direct object, and it's another noun that is in a possessive case. To translate this, single out the subject of the sentence. Now, there is no noun in the subject. You have a pronoun. Then, the next thing you ask yourself, what is the Greek word for this verb? So I want to use this as an example to identify. Let us know that where there is no noun, the pronoun can suffice. So hint number 2. Still be looking at this example. Hint number 2. Locate the verb. Locating the verb is what I've just shown us here, that this is the verb. Here is the verb. Having located the verb, the next thing you will do is to locate the noun that serves as the direct object. Locate the noun that serves as the direct object. And the noun that serves as the direct object in this sentence is the word. So the subject, that's the main actor of the sentence. The verb is the action itself. The word is the direct object. Now, finally, the fourth point or the fourth hint on translation here is determine whether there is an indirect object in the sentence or any other object or any other noun. That's number 4. Determine if there is any other noun either in possessive form or an indirect object. These are the hints on translation. Therefore, let me give us the translation of this word before I tell us one or two other things we should remember. They hear the word of God. Don't get confused. I will want to translate this sentence without the articles now for proper understanding. Here, I made us to understand that present active indicative verbs have endings. And the ending for they is osin. If you forgot this, go back to the previous videos and remind yourself where we discussed the endings of the present active indicative verbs. Now, here is a Greek, is an English word that has the Greek meaning of akao. You see this akao here? This is the ending, this is the stem, but the ending attached to the stem, because of the ending, you see this as I here. But now, you want to form the Greek word they here. They here is just formed by removing the I, which is omega, and adding the osin, which is they. Therefore, we have here akaosin. Akaosin. This akaosin here is this whole two words. They here. They here. This is akaosin. They here. In the last class, I gave us some vocabularies that we should memorize. When you look at that vocabulary, you will agree with me that the word is there, and the Greek word for word is logos. Logos. Now, when you look at this logos, you will agree with me, following the endings of the second declension masculine nouns, that us is an ending that reveals that the noun is in the nominative case, singular. But word is the direct object of this sentence, which shows that the word should be in the accusative case. And it is a singular word. Therefore, if you be able to go back to lesson number 8, and you notice the endings of the masculine noun of the second declension, you will agree with me that us is nominative. Therefore, we remove us and put the ending that corresponds with the word in the accusative. That is akosin, logon. Logon. Logon is word in the accusative case, singular form, because what we have here is word, not words. So we have word, not words. Meanwhile, to preempt the article, when the word or an accusative case is in the singular, the article for masculine nouns is turn for it. Turn, logon. Finally, we have of God. This of God is another noun in this sentence, but in the genitive case. Go back to lesson number 8. You see the endings of the nouns of the masculine in the second declension, and you will agree with me that the nouns I gave you, I reminded us that the Greek word theos means God. Now, theos means God because of the us here is in the nominative, but this of God shows that the noun is in the genitive case. This shows that the noun is in the genitive case. Therefore, we will translate it in the genitive. That genitive case, the singular of genitive case, is the ending O. Therefore, we have tail. This tail on its own means of God. Then if we want to add article to it, we simply add to tail. Therefore, wherever you are listening to us, agree with me that Akelsin, Tol Logon, to tail means they hear the word of God. As simple as Greek. However, I want us to bear this in mind. Remember the following things I want to say now. If the subject of the sentence is singular, do not hesitate to use the third person singular form of the verb. I repeat, if the subject of the sentence is singular, for instance, he hears, he hears, do not hesitate to use the third person singular form of the verb. But if the subject is plural, they hear, you use the plural form of the verb. Meanwhile, if the subject is plural, they use the third person plural form of the verb. But there is an exception to this. There is a word in Greek called pisteo. This word called pisteo simply means I believe. I believe always takes the dative case as the direct object. As we progress, you will understand what you're talking about. Just do not be in a haste. Take it gradually. Greek is just like a very hot okra soup. You lick it gradually. Because if you lick it so fast, you will spit it out immediately. But when you lick it gradually, you grab it. Having introduced you to this peculiar verb, pisteo, which means I believe, it takes the direct object in the dative. For instance, he believes. He believes. This he believes God. He believes God. On a normal situation, as I introduced to us, that the direct object is always in the accusative case, but when believe or pisteo is the verb, the direct object will be in the dative case. Therefore, you translate this as pistiei teo. This omega with iota subscript shows that this now is in the dative case. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, grab it as much as you could. When we come to the next lesson, we give you further examples before we go into the hints on translating from Greek to English. At this juncture, without wasting more of your time, I want to call on our anchor person to come and tell us that we have tried for today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our professor, Dr. Godson Ebujo. You know what? Did you say something about okra soup? Probably that's your favorite. And of course, they hear. Like I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
I right? Yeah, I'm still learning too at the same time teaching. What a wonderful instructor. Um, yeah. See you next time. Subscribe. Ask your questions. Share what you know. Like our teacher just said, okra soup. Yes, it's not something that we just make so fast. We're all here to learn. Thank you so much as you notify us, as you subscribe, and as you learn too. You can still go back to previous videos. Thank you for stopping by. see you on our next lesson.
Yeah, thank you, Lady. You are doing great. You know that. Now listen. It will not cost you anything to press that subscribe button, and I strongly believe that when you put on the notification, you'll be able to see subsequent videos. Meanwhile, share this to your pastors, seminarians, your friends that want to do
Oh,
proper.
you know what? Somebody asked me what I'm going to do with Greek.
Oh,
Well, on our next lesson, then I will let you know.
maybe that person doesn't go to church. Yeah, the person doesn't know that Greek language is the biblical language.
As easy as Greek.
It is as easy as Greek. Therefore, do not just waka pass. Make you just press that red button
And waka stay.
and put on the notification for us. You know what? You know they give us physical money for this thing. We are just doing this to help the world, to help those that want to do biblical interpretation and exegesis properly. Therefore, help us, encourage us by simply subscribing and sharing this video. Thank you for banking with us. God bless you. See you next time.